Sparks because I didn't have enough for Elijah and Jamari. And I needed a fresh notebook. We are in Declaration of Independence. You're going to need your booklet. Watch meeting, Zoom. I hear a little bit of whispering. Declaration of Independence. So if everybody will go to modules, I've kind of changed up the order of your modules to try to make things easier for my friends. We already did preamble Friday. You weren't here, Bryson. Okay. That helps a little bit with airflow at least. Ooh, the sunlight is pretty today. Look at the orange. Y'all see the sunlight? It's very orange, doesn't it?
Sort of and sort of not.
Oh, now it's not. Where the clouds are. Oh, it does have little. Ooh, it's windy. Hopefully nothing gets sucked out the window. So this is one of the guys that we're going to be studying in, I believe, Unit 4. And I just tracked that book. I feel like I almost went for it. You guys might be familiar with his work. Not familiar? Look at the last name. Hershey bar. Hershey bar.
Wow.
I just gotta get those labeled.
You made Hershey bar?
Yes.
Oh my god, I want to thank you. And they have their shapes.
Okay, so I put Unit 3 at the top. I unpublished Units 2 and 1. So on my page, I can see Unit 2 and Unit 1. I want you guys to scroll down. See if you, on module, I'm curious. Go backwards to module. See if you can see Unit 2 and Unit 1. I can because it's a teacher page. Unit 2 and Unit 1 is gone. All of that stuff is gone, so the page cleaned up. Yay! So all you see now is Unit 3. Yay! That's what I intended to do, and it finally worked like I wanted it to. Nice. Okay, so we're actually we're in here, but we've already done preamble. All right, we're doing Declaration of Independence, but you've got the worksheet in front of you. Okay, so we actually don't need to click anything in here right now. So I'm going to stop share on this page, and I'm going to share this. Okay, so I'm going to share live image. Obviously, it's going to take me more than once to get it to share correctly. Because not really. Okay. Because we did so much of this Friday. Okay, so this phrase, one of the grievances in the Declaration, he is combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent means permission, to their acts of pretended legislation. Got any idea what that means? Have any clue?
On it all.
What's that?
Not at all. Wait,
Read that.
he made that?
Well, subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our law. So something not acknowledged by American colonies laws. Kayla, you're doing something to distract yourself. Okay, this has to do with giving his assent, means permission. So this was colonists' homes could be what? No, what do we say could happen to their homes, guys? This is part of that Townshend Act.
Oh, you might allow them to go in their house and search it.
There you go. Colonist homes could be searched without their permission. See the word assent, meaning permission. Hmm. 95% humidity. I can feel every bit of that coming through the window. We're supposed to have rain between 10 and 11, so it'll be an inside recess. Okay, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury. What do you think that means? You're funny. What does that part mean?
Oh, it means that the jury
What?
the jury, the processors of the people.
Well, no, it didn't even talk about the 5% thing.
They,
Why would a person want a trial by jury?
because it'll be more fair.
It would be more fair. So stating depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, why is that a grievance?
Because the judge would prosecute them.
The judge would be more likely to be unfair, correct? Okay, so no trial by a jury of their peers was guaranteed. Is that Mr. Drain? Okay. So no trial by a jury of their peers. What is a peer? A peer is someone similar to themselves. So who are your peers? Your classmates. Okay. I'm not your peer because I'm a lot older than you. I'm not a student in this classroom. Okay. Your peers are other fourth graders. It could even be said the fifth graders and third graders are your peers because they're about your age, right? And they're fellow students of Peaceville. So that's what's meant by peers, of people that are similar to yourself. Make sense? So you want a trial by jury of your peers because they are similar to you. They have a similar background to you. They understand you. And they're going to be more likely to judge you fairly. Make sense? That's why you want a trial by jury. Okay? So no trial by jury of their peers was ever guaranteed. On my piece of paper it said was never guaranteed. I was like, what? By the way, I did not say this to this class Friday, but that part for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. I said this to second and third block, and Mr. Mita said, Vandiver, you missed your opportunity. Someone who is virtual told me he did his work ahead of time, and he told me that quartering large bodies of armed troops meant to chop up large soldiers.
Oh, no, I didn't want to say.
Okay, so see that picture of the soldier on the board? My soldier, my 6'2" soldier. Let's don't be thinking about chopping up my son, okay? Here's a whole bunch of soldiers. Mine is in the back, not smiling, because soldiers aren't really supposed to smile. So can you imagine chopping up all those soldiers? Yeah, no. All those things that they're holding would prevent that, wouldn't they? And that's Adrian teaching. Nothing makes a teacher heart happier than seeing her son teaching a group of people. Okay. He sent me those pictures to display in my room. I'm like, yo, buddy, you're all holding guns except for you. That's because he's the leader. Cannot display that in my classroom. He's like, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can't. But please remember when it says quartering large soldiers, it doesn't mean literally quarter them up like a chicken or a potato. It means to give them refuge, housing. Okay. When you quarter up a potato, it's chop it up. When you quarter up a chicken, it's chop it up. When you quarter troops, give them housing. Okay. But yeah, he's like, here, mom, here's a great picture to show your class. That's mine in the back, not smiling. I'm like, yeah, no. No, we're not going to quarter him up. And here he is teaching. They learn in the military, they learn a lot of military strategy, going back many years. This guy here was 6 months ahead of him in military. That's Bowie Grace. That was his best friend. He's now, I think, in South Carolina. He's already commissioned. He's commissioning my son. He's the one training. He's commissioning in May. So close to the end of the school year, I'm going to miss half a school day because called butter bars, the bars you get pinned on them when he gets commissioned. Parents are the ones that put those on them, pin it on them. So Craig and I have to go to his commissioning service so we can pin them.
How does he decide when to do that? Is it written by the person?
He actually originally signed up for the Army, and then he changed it to Army National Guard. He's also an ROTC.
Did he do it by the person? Because there's like
He did. There's a place on our house. We live close to it. Anyway, we've just finished with Declaration of Independence. And Declaration of Independence, at its core, was actually a list of what?
already.
Nope.
I found
Grievances is a list of complaints. Against who? Against the British, against King George. Because the British had done so many things to aggravate the American colonists. Had it not been for King George being so restrictive and so egregiously obnoxiously what would be the term for it? Rude, for being so rude to the American colonists. The American colonists might not have banded together against him, and we might not be a country. So the fact that the American colonists felt that he was being so rude to them was why they banded together and why we ended up with our own country when we did, in a country like we have. So like I've said before, the bad stuff and the good stuff ends up making a person. It's also what makes a country.
People like from other countries will come and try to do a war.
All right, so the next page we're going to move to is symbols of the United States. If you want to go ahead and turn to that. And I'm going to stop share on this and I'm going to go to Canvas, okay? Which will be course modules. And it'll be Monday, January 25th. It's listed under Effects of the Revolutionary War, text source 1. It would be wonderful if my internet woke up. Come on, Canvas, you can do it. All righty. The Revolutionary War. Megan, can you read the first paragraph for us, dear?
Yes, ma'am. On July 8, 1776, a 2,000-pound copper and tin bell, known as the Liberty Bell, rings out from the tower of Pennsylvania State House, now Independence Hall, in Philadelphia, summoning citizens to the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence. 4 days later, the historic document had been adopted by delegates to the Continental Congress, but the bell did not ring to announce the issuing of the document until the Declaration of Independence returned from the printer on July 8. The bell symbolized the new freedom that the colonies had from the British.
Good. So they wrote the Declaration of Independence. It was a symbol, but it didn't actually create independence. What actually was going to create independence? What actually gave the American colonies independence? No, what gave them the freedom? No, let's keep reading. Skyuna, can you read the next paragraph for us?
there was more than 7. The war had really always been much more when the person it's called in the country, American soldiers or children.
Okay, so when they said 17,000 people died because of disease, I actually was reading about this. They had a pandemic of sorts go through during the Revolutionary War. Something that was far more fatal than what we have going on now. They had yellow fever that was carried by mosquitoes that was going through at the time of the Revolutionary War. And it had a far higher fatality rate than what COVID does. COVID has a 1 to 2% fatality rate. Yellow fever at times had a rate, not mistaken, around 50%, which is pretty high. I'm not sure if I told this class this or if I told the other classes this, but women used to set their hairspray of sorts, with sugar water.
Wow.
What are mosquitoes attracted to? They're attracted to sweet things, sugar being amongst them, sugar water. They're also attracted to carbon dioxide, the stuff we breathe out. Mosquitoes are attracted to that. The faster you breathe, the more mosquitoes come to you. Okay. Men tend to breathe faster than women. Children breathe faster than adults. But women in corsets can't get a good breath, so they breathe shallower and faster. So corseted women, they're breathing fast and shallow. So women had a double whammy, the fact that they'd be wearing corsets and have sugar water hair. So their clothing, the way they dressed, the way they wear their hair, made them more likely to get bit by mosquitoes. And being near rivers, where mosquitoes lived, near lakes, where mosquitoes lived, would make them more likely to be bitten. And where the rivers were, wasn't that how they traveled by river? Where boats went up and down rivers? So that also caused problems. Philadelphia is here. It looks like a little river is right here. It's close enough to the Delaware Bay. There's a book called Fever 1793. I also remember hearing jokes, memes that during the Revolutionary War, a lot of people were dying from diseases, from yellow fever. There's also malaria, but I don't know that malaria was a problem that far north, especially yellow fever. So all the soldiers that were fighting, were they necessarily really healthy? They weren't fighting in their prime, you know? So was the Declaration of Independence what gave America its freedom? No. That second paragraph that Skyuna just read, that has the answer for what gave America its freedom. What was that? The Revolutionary War. That is what gave America its freedom. 7-year Revolutionary War. It killed soldiers, and also disease killed soldiers.
Did they start collecting land in the war?
Not collecting land, it was fighting for the country's freedom from Britain. All right, next paragraph. Michaela, still braiding the hair. Read the next paragraph, please. On June 14, 1777. Uh-huh.
Approved the first flag that represented the United States of America. The flag has 13 stripes, to represent 13 original colonies. The flag came to be known as Stone Stripes. And represented the colonies
The colonial armies.
throughout the Revolutionary War.
Good job. So there's the original flag. All right, last paragraph, Ricardo. Yorktown. Negotiations. Finalized. So even though the fighting was over, it still took an additional 10 months to get that treaty agreed to by both sides and actually end the war. Okay, so let's describe the meaning of the Liberty Bell. That's going to require us to go up here. Okay, so what's the meaning of the Liberty Bell, guys? What is it? First of all, how much does it weigh? What's it made out of? Okay, 2,000 pounds. Copper and tin. Hangs in the Pennsylvania, well, hangs in what is it called now? No, where does it hang? What is the building called now? No, Independence Hall, not White House. Independence Hall in what city? In Philadelphia. Okay. First time it rang? I'm not asking for the time. It was, what was the purpose for it to ring the first time? Well, it was to summon citizens to, it was, summon citizens to hear the reading of the Declaration of Independence, right?
celebrate the times like every year?
I don't know. And it symbolized I'll print it. Let me print it for you. Symbolized the freedom the colonies had. Symbolized the freedom the colonies had from who? Yes,
Can you show your screen?
I'm about to. Okay, so stop sharing this one and share image mate. I do not know what is wrong with Elmo, why it's light in the middle. Let me print out Scotty. These pages. That's how you know. There's a nice color to it. Everybody else is black and white. To here. I still have friends copying. Okay. Here. It was to summon citizens to hear the reading of the Declaration of Independence. The bell symbolized the freedom the colonies had from the British.
I forgot what suggesting how they collected the stars, but I know it was by collecting.
You know how what?
How did they collect the stars?
How did they collect the stars?
Yeah.
They took a big net to the sky and just collected them.
Wow.
States.
Like, they have to get their stars on the flag like they
As states were added, more stars were added to the flag. The number of stripes have always been the same. Ooh.
Can you actually like put the star in space?
Come on. I know we have it internet out here. Make it work.
I can't really read it.
2,000 pounds of copper and tin hangs in Independence Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. First time it rang, it was to summon citizens to hear the reading of the Declaration of Independence. Here. Okay, who's still writing? Okay. What? Oh, okay, 1 minute more, guys. There you go. Symbolized. No, someone just turned off my camera. Weird. I just texted my husband. All right, let's get back to the article so we can read about or find the meaning of stars and stripes, okay? Okay, so we pulled out the meaning of Liberty Bell. Let's pull out the meaning of stars and stripes. It's going to be in this area. Look where the arrow is. On June 14th, Continental Congress approved the first flag representing the United States of America. Flag had 13 stripes and 13 stars to represent the original, what? 13 colonies. Flag came to be known as Stars and Stripes and represented the colonial, what? Come on, guys. Colonial armies throughout the Revolutionary War. Okay. Describe the meaning of Stars and Stripes. So this was the first flag of the United States of America. Yes, it does. It has 13 stars and 13 stripes that represent not states, the original 13 colonies. in North America? Whoever's drumming, please quit. Okay, stop share on. Whoop. Stop share. Image mate. So you're the only class who didn't get to see this. These are replicas of American Revolutionary coins from 1776. I bought these when I went to the Capitol years ago. If you pay attention to the edges of the coins look like they've been shaved down. That used to be a common practice. People would shave down the edges of coins. They would do this to multiple coins. Read it. Don't ask me, read it. They would shave down the edges of multiple coins and melt them together. Don't open it. Nope, never been opened. Don't open it. They would melt them down and make money off the edge of the coins. That is why coins today have those little ridges on them so that you can tell if someone's trying to shave off parts of coins. It's to keep people from shaving them down. Diana, he's trying to hand me the coins. He's trying to hand me the coins. That's a replica, a mini replica of the Declaration of Independence on the board. It's on papyrus. Pretty cool.
You could sell that for $5 million. No, I mean, well, is that why you never opened it? You never opened it?
I just don't want to just cover it. Allie. I always forget that I have them because I have all kinds of cool things to pass around in my class. I just forget I have them. I have money that's like actual money from Roman, like biblical days that I got on eBay. I have Confederate money too. Okay, has everybody got this down about stars and stripes? Okay. Have you got it, Megan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to stop share on this one and I shall go to this. Canvas, you can come in anytime now. Wow, these came in really tiny. Holy moly. Never know how Canvas will do the documents. This time it made them small. Okay, so there's the Treaty of Paris. I'm going to blow it up so we can somewhat see it, even though it's now bigger and blurry. Very blurry. Okay, so there's the Treaty of Paris, which just looks like a blob because it's so blurry there. So source one says the Treaty of Paris ended the Revolutionary War between Great Britain and the United States. In the Treaty of Paris, the British Crown formally recognized American independence and ceded, in other words, gave over, most of its territory east of the Mississippi River to the United States, doubling the size of the new nation. So it not only gave up these 13 colonies, but it gave up all of this land east of the Mississippi River.
Wow.
So remember all that land that had been for Native American territory?
Yeah.
It gave all that land
The full name.
to United States. Okay. So turn your page. See if you have this on the back. Yours should be on the back of your page that I just printed for you, Skyuna. Does everybody have this on the back? Because if not, I've printed it out for everybody. Printed out 52 copies. Does everybody have this? Okay, so your source one. I shall help you through source one. The others you're going to do yourself. Yes. With the Treaty of Paris. And I'm going to switch share modes back to ImageMate. With the Treaty of Paris and the end of the Revolutionary War, the U.S. was created, and what about its size? Was it the same size as the original 13 colonies? How was it? What is it, Maya? You know what? A copy?
Guess I'm gonna know in this was 3 and 4 on our own.
2, 3, and 4.
2 electrical breaks.
What about the size of what the Treaty of Paris gave them? Was it the same size as the original 13 colonies?
No.
What was it in relation?
Bigger?
How much bigger?
It doubled?
There you go. The U.S. was created and it was twice
Besides.
the size of the 13 colonies.
Those things are big.
Now, the nickel is the one that doesn't have any edges there. Rich.
Nickel.
Yeah, it is. That also came from the White House.
But I have.
I bought all these from the White House.
But you went to the White House?
If I bought these from the White House, then clearly I went to the White House. Huh? These are all things plus that I got from the White House. All right, has everybody got this?
No.
I actually got those from the Capitol building. The White House we went to at nighttime, and we got close to the fence, and Secret Service kept flashing their flashlights at us so we get away from the fence line. Okay. Source 2. I do not like how Canvas just randomly makes some things look so small and other ones so big. And I enlarged these in Word this time so they would not come out so small. I guess Canvas had a mind of its own. Source 2, a new government. In 1781, the Articles of Confederation was ratified. To ratify means to agree upon at a time when each of the states were operating as their own independent countries. So let's think about that for a minute. What if Bryson and Skyuna and Allie and Cardo, each individual person in here, all were talking out loud, not quietly, out loud. And they all were doing their own thing. Everybody's doing something different. They weren't even all working on social studies. They were all doing their own blasted thing. Would it be hard to come together to work out a solution to a problem?
Yes.
Completely, right?
Absolutely.
So would it be hard if the states were all operating as their own independent countries for them to get a common solution?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense then? Okay. So in 1781, the Articles of Confederation had the states working independently, like their own countries. The national government was comprised of a single legislature, the Congress of the Confederation. There was no president. There was no judicial branch. What does judicial sound like? What word does it sound like? Judicial. What word does it sound like? What? What? Judge. That's exactly what it means. Judicial means judge. The judicial branch deals with judges, guys. Don't do that with the screen. Okay. Judicial branch of government deals with judges. It deals with justice, with fairness. Okay. Judicial deals with judges. So in 1781, with the Articles of Confederation, there was no president. There were no judges, no judicial branch. The Articles of Confederation gave Congress the power to govern foreign affairs, conduct war, and regulate currency. You guys passed around currency. So what is currency? Money. However, these powers were sharply limited because Congress had no authority to enforce its request to the states for money or troops. If everybody is operating like their own entity, then there's nobody to control them, right?
The president.
I just said there's no president. Got to listen. Soon after America won its independence from Great Britain with a 1783 victory in the American Revolution, it became increasingly evident that the young republic needed a stronger central government for the country to remain stable. Okay, so you need to write source 2, write what that is about. You need to mention Articles of Confederation. You need to mention about the lack of a strong central government. And you need to write about how each state ran like its own independent country. Okay? Get to writing. I'm not repeating myself. Give you guys 4 minutes. Anybody still working on it?
1 minute.
All right, quiet. When I finish sharing in these scores, when I'm going to call time. Okay. Time to go on to the next article. We'll have time at the end for you to come back, okay? Let's go on to article source 3. All right. All right. Click on source 3, my friends.
Which was next.
Ooh.
And 4.
Source 3, economic crisis of the 1780s. This is kind of like what we're in right now. We have a pandemic going on and an economic crisis because of the pandemic,
Yeah, pretty much.
which is what they had going on. Economic crisis of the 1780s. Skyuna, are you okay? You need to go call home? Are you just sleepy or not feeling good? You need to go call home? You sure? Okay. When the fighting came to an end in 1781, the economy of the country was in a shamble. Exports to Britain were prohibited. Further, British law prohibited trade with Britain's remaining colonies in the Caribbean. 2 major sources of colonial trade were eliminated from the American colonies. To add to the growing problems, a flood of cheap British manufactured imports landed on the shores of the United States. These goods sold cheaper than the American-made goods, making it hard for American manufacturers to make money. To keep the economy going, many states, businesses, and farmers had to take on large amounts of debt to be able to survive. Okay, so write about the economic crisis of the 1780s. This one I'm going to give you an extra minute for. Okay, economic means money, right? Come on, Sky, you know you gotta try. You can go down and call if you need to. Is your grandma at home for you to call? Is there a number you can reach her at? Why don't you go down and call her? You didn't feel good Friday either. I can tell you don't feel good, sweetie, because you're a hard worker. I know that. Maybe just going home and laying down will make you feel better. Maybe just going home and laying down will make you feel better. What do you think? You think so? No? Who needs more time, my friends? Okay.
We have to do 4 right now.
Yeah, we'll do 4 together in just a moment, okay? Okay. Okay. It's fine. Which one do you need? Okay, one more minute. I'm going to read source 4, okay? Remember, today is the day you need to turn in your social studies RTI pack if you didn't turn it in Friday, okay?
Do I have an RTI this week?
I don't have a fresh one to go out for you, so no. So sorry. I know you're disappointed.
No.
All right. Source 4, Leaving America. When the Revolutionary War was coming to its end, many of the British and Loyalists began to make plans to evacuate the colonies. Rich Loyalists such as Thomas Hutchinson left for America and headed back to London. Do you remember Thomas Hutchinson being the one that was so not liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
His brother was a judge and he was friends with Mr. Oliver. Remember?
Yeah.
So he headed back to London. He wasn't exactly liked in America. Some loyalists left America to start new lives in Canada. Many loyalists feared that they would be persecuted by the Americans for holding their beliefs of being loyal to the British Empire. It is estimated that over 80,000 loyalists left America in order to remain members of the British Empire. That's a lot of people leaving, isn't it? It's like a mass exodus. What is it?
I guess so.
Because they thought they'd be persecuted by the Patriots
Whoa.
because they were loyal to Britain.
So like, what did they do to you?
They were they were loyal to the British,
And they killed some of their friends, probably.
and they were probably spies for the British.
Loyalists.
So go ahead and write about source 4, okay?
Let's kill the loyalists. Oh. Okay. Well, here, what's something I said?
I know you had to write that down. That's why it's in pencil. Yeah, I'm not writing it. And when you guys go to enrichment, if you could leave it to this page where you had to write in your source 2, 3, 4, that I am grading. Okay, because you had to write that in yourself.
How many points do you get?
I don't know yet. Probably 10.
Like 25?
10. Is this plus your quiz that you're taking? I say quiz, it's only 12 questions, multiple choice. Wednesday will be your last 2 social studies grades for the next couple of weeks. Do you want to go to the office? When everybody goes to enrichment, do you want to go to the office, sweetie? Remember to leave your notebook, not your notebook, but your packet open to your page. It doesn't have red writing, but your page, it looks like this. Okay. Your back page says effects of the Revolutionary War. Okay.
Bryson and Maya, since y'all were on my warning list last week and you decided not to do any Zern lessons at all, that means now you're on the other list. So you need to join you don't have recess now and you don't have enrichment. You need to go to my room, and at recess, all you get to do is Zern, because I'm not going to take 0 lessons. Okay? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. You can, if you're on my list of people, you can wait outside my door with your device.
She still didn't bring back her papers that Mariah was supposed to make sure she brought back.
We need to go to your house and get it taken care of for you.
Today was the last day to have it. We're done with social studies. I'm so stubborn and I'm tempted to give everybody 5 points for half it, because she won't.
I would.
Because you know how stubborn I am. All right, everybody, let's line up. Maya, go to this classroom. Maya, grab your device. Okay, you need to go to the office, okay, sweetie? Go to the office, okay? All right, my friend, someone's got a line at the door. Come on, Miss Maya. Maya. Come on, Maya. All around, everybody. All your speed is left. Come on, Rich. It's just this one is not nearly so fatal, but they did the Spanish flu the first year wasn't fatal, the second year was. Which is what the prediction is. 1918. All right, let's go.
the muffler makes feel like they blow.
I had my window open just to have
Yeah.
air moving.
318.
Cause it's been ridiculously warm up here.
Look at
Hello. This is Jerry Badgley from Bird High School, calling to inform you that Colby has an absentee record for today at 8:30 a.m. Our district's attendance policy for failure based upon attendance